Hey guys, it's GameTech Super Sham back with another video, and in this video I'll be going over my top 5 favorite Android apps for December 2015. So let's get started. First up, we've got an awesome one that I personally use a lot. It's called Symbolab. It's just all about math, and I'm in school, and so this is incredibly useful for me. But even if you're not in school, it might be useful sometimes. So any of these equations, for example, I can solve almost anything. So, solve these for x, and if you pay the premium, which is about $5, I believe, it'll actually show you the steps to solve any problem you can put into it. Now, it's actually free to show solutions on the website, but on the mobile app, it just shows you the solution. And compared to the Wolfram Alpha app, which is $4 for everything, I think this is a good deal. It also gives you a graph of the equations. There's also a wide range of topics. There's trigonometry, there's calculus, which is crazy. You can ask for the derivative of crazy things. Now, I'm going to do a simple one like x squared, but you can go pretty intense with this stuff. And one downside, as you're seeing here, is there are a lot of ads on the free version. But if you buy the premium version, it is just as good as Wolfram Alpha, if not better and easier to use on the mobile version. But for free, you can't really beat what Symbolab offers to you for a quick mobile calculation or something. Now, moving on, I wanted to talk about Ssiphon. I've already mentioned Ssiphon in one of my other videos. What Ssiphon does is it's just a VPN service. Now, as you can see, again, a lot of ads in these free, really useful apps, but Ssiphon just works really well. If you're on a blocked Wi-Fi server or something, Wi-Fi network, and you can't access some website, Ssiphon will go in, set up a connection, and then you will be able to access any website, even if it's blocked on, like an office Wi-Fi connection or something. So it's just really useful. It works. A lot of ads. It interrupts you in the middle of whatever you're doing sometimes, but I think it's worth it because you can actually access any website now. So I'll have all the links to download these in the description, by the way. But moving on, it's the game of the 5 apps. It's called Freaking Math, and this is like the nerdiest game known to mankind. But it's really awesome. I actually really enjoy it. Let me just turn my volume down here. So, you have 2 seconds to answer each math question that appears, and it's just a basic addition question, but it gets surprisingly difficult. So here we go. You can go ahead and keep solving these, but you'll come up with a somewhat challenging one, and then you'll have to spend more than 2 seconds thinking about it, and it gets very, very difficult. And I'm barely able to talk. So as you can see, my best is 44, but this is a nice game if you have a lot of free time, or even not a lot of free time. It doesn't take that long to play. And it's a game that actually helps you think, helps you concentrate, and helps you think a little bit faster. Next I've got a podcast app. In my opinion, the best free podcast app. Pocket Cast there's no competition. It's better. But that costs $4, and this is free. This is called... It has an interesting name, actually. It's called, Podcast Addict. And so here's how I listen to my podcast. I don't listen to many podcasts, but this is the app I use. So you can add podcasts via RSS, or just a straight-up link, or search for it. And they have a pretty good selection, I'd say. You can go ahead and discover. And they have a pretty good selection. They have a bunch of categories if you want to select, just say, like, news and politics podcasts. They also support video podcasts, which is actually pretty cool. So these are all videos, so sort of like a YouTube video, except you get updated when it's released, and it's pretty consistent. And I think it's a pretty good podcast app. Now, there are some ads, but they're not very intrusive. You can't actually, they're at the very bottom down here, so it's not very intrusive. And overall, it gives you a notification when there's a new podcast update. The player interface is pretty cool. It does not take up much battery at all. And overall, I think it's a very nice podcast app. It's designed pretty well with material design, so I definitely really like it. So last up is Listen on Repeat. Now, this is a pretty unusual app, that's for sure. What it pretty much allows you to do is listen to music on repeat without having to use a YouTube Red subscription. So it works like any other music app. So you can just go ahead and look for any video, and then once you find that video, You can actually just play that video in the background of whatever you're doing, and it works as though any other music player. So any YouTube videos, any music videos that aren't available on Spotify or something, it's a pretty nice technique. So if I bring up one of my old videos here, I can do this. It works perfectly fine. And I can actually also use a pop-up window up there to actually drag this around my screen anytime, and I can actually go home and do anything else I want to while this remains on my screen as a window. It's a really awesome app. It does glitch a little bit, but the developers are updating it a lot, which is nice to see. A little bit glitchy, a little bit battery intensive, but it's a really nice trick to, if you're reading an ebook and you just want this in the top corner, it's really awesome. You can't resize it yet, but you can move it around. It is pretty smooth, but overall a very functional app while it's not the best designed. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I will have links to all the apps in the description below, but overall, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. See you next time.